Hello, I'm the ASMR Psychologist. Welcome to my channel. Now, today, didn't want to come out. We're going to be doing a sleep hypnosis. For overthinking. Now, I'd like to talk to you a little bit today before we begin about hypnosis and kind of the best way to use it. But if you'd like to skip this and go straight to the hypnosis, I'll put the timestamp in the description for this video. And if you prefer a whisper, there's a similar hypnosis, not exactly the same, but similar, in a whisper that you can watch just here. It should pop up on the screen. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about, I got a comment the other day saying that the sleep hypnosis didn't work. There's a couple of things to bear in mind about hypnosis. Firstly, it's not a standalone treatment, ever. It's an amazing complement for other types of treatment. So, medication or talking therapies, I use it a lot. With my talking therapist, I find that it often helps to boost the treatment. Sometimes it helps to unstick people. But there's no evidence to suggest that it works as an independent treatment. So you need to keep this in mind, along with the fact that sleep is a complex thing, but difficulty sleeping is usually, maybe always actually, a symptom of another problem, whether that is a physical problem or a psychological problem. So it is important to look at the root cause of your sleeping problem rather than just treating the symptoms. Okay. The other thing, hypnosis, I think is amazing, but it's not a one-stop shop. You know, there are very rarely quick fixes in this world, particularly for complex problems like sleep problems. So I would always recommend that you try to listen to the hypnosis a few times. Interestingly, someone left something in the comments of one of my videos the other day saying that she finds it quite helpful that I do a video as a whisper and then the same video as soft spoken, because it means that she doesn't necessarily know what's coming next, what I'm going to say next, because the format is slightly different. So that might help with repeated watches, so you're not waiting for what comes next. Anyway, I think those are quite important things to know about hypnosis. I'm going to do a video in a couple of weeks' time, I think. It's going to be called The Science of Hypnosis, where I will go into a little bit more detail about hypnosis, what it is, and kind of why it works and what we can use it for. So that's coming soon. Now, if you like these types of videos, these sleep hypnosis, let me know by giving me an up thumb so I know to keep making them. Okay, so as this is a sleep hypnosis, so I won't be waking you up at the end. I will be guiding you into a deep and restful sleep, it's a good idea to get comfy into a position that you feel you will easily nod off in. And as always, we're going to begin with a visual induction to draw your focus away from the external world and inwards, which will prime your mind for the hypnosis. Now, I tried to mix it up a little bit here, use different visual inductions, and some will work for you and some not so much. If I'm using one that doesn't work for you, simply turn your phone over or your screen over and focus instead on a spot in front of you and follow the instructions that I give. Just using that, it works just as well. But I know that some of you like the variety. So today we're going to try something a little different. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I found this this app. So we'll try it to see what you think. But as I say, if you find it a little intense, I've turned the brightness of the screen down. I'm going to hold it back a little bit so you don't get the glare from the window. If it's too intense for you, don't worry. Just turn the phone over and follow the instructions that I'm going to give you, and it will work just as well. Okay, so let's begin. So I want you to draw your attention to the spiral, ideally to the center point of the spiral, and allow your entire focus to rest here. Allow yourself to become completely absorbed, as if it is pulling you inwards, pulling you away from the day, from the outside world. And as it draws you in, you notice that your mind slows down. Thoughts and worries and plans seem to dissipate. They float to the edge, the periphery of your conscious awareness. And it feels very relaxing and very peaceful. It's as if this spiral is the only thing that is important right now. The only thing that matters, and its motion is strangely soothing, hypnotic even. And you will notice that as you observe it, your eyes will begin to feel tired, your eyelids heavy. You notice an urge to close them. But I'd like you to hold off for a moment or two. The benefits will be greater if you can. Okay, so I'm going to count backwards now from 5 to 1, and then when I get to 1, you can finally close your eyes. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close your eyes and just enjoy the stillness, the darkness behind your eyes. for a moment or two. And now we are going to spend a little while deeply relaxing your body in preparation for the hypnosis. First of all, I want you to become aware of your feet. And as you breathe in, I want you to point your toes as strongly as you can so that you feel the tension running along the top of your foot to your ankle and through the sole of your foot to your heel. Hold it, and then on your next exhale, release the tension in your foot. And as you do, notice that your foot becomes heavy and very warm, and enjoy that feeling. Allow it to sink ever so slightly into the bed. And now I want you to flex your foot so your toes point up to the ceiling, and at the same time clench the muscles in your lower leg, your thighs, and also your bottom, so that your whole leg, both your legs, are held tight, the muscles at a maximum tension, and hold it, and then on your next exhale, release the tension and allow your legs to sink into the bed and deeply relax your muscles loose and limp and floppy. And you will notice that a warmth begins to creep in to the lower part of your body. It feels heavy and deeply relaxed. And now, move your attention to your stomach and lower back. On your next inhale, I want you to suck your stomach in as if you were trying to touch your spine, and hold it, feeling the tension. A little uncomfortable, but hold it nonetheless. The benefits will be greater if you can. Hold it. Notice that tension. Notice the tension. And as you exhale, release the tension and allow all the muscles in that area to become loose and limp. And again, a warmth floods this area. And enjoy a slight sinking feeling into the bed that is restful and peaceful. Becoming aware of the difference between tension and relaxation in our muscles helps us to switch between the two when we need to. And now, on your next inhale, I want you to hold that breath and feel the tension across your upper back and your chest. Hold it for as long as you can. As long as you can, again, the longer that you can hold it, the greater the benefits when you release it. And then in your own time, but in the next couple of moments, release the breath and allow your upper torso, all the muscles in your chest and upper back to relax, and allow that part of your body to sink into the bed. And now, on your next inhale, clench your fists and tense all of the muscles in your arms, lifting them up slightly from the bed and squeezing your shoulders up to your ears like a soldier. And hold that. Feel the tension. Really focus on how that tension in those muscles feels. Again, slightly uncomfortable. Longing to release that tension, but if you can, hold it for a moment or two longer. And then on your next exhale, release the tension. Allow your fists to uncurl, and your arms to settle back by your side or across your body, whichever is most comfortable for you. And you will experience a sinking into the bed and a warmth flooding down from your shoulders to your arms and to your hands. And now finally, I want you to lift your head ever so slightly and touch your chin to your chest whilst scrunching up as many of the muscles in your face as you can, as if you were incredibly worried or angry maybe. And hold that position for as long as you can, feeling the tension. And then on your next exhale, release your head back onto the pillow and relax your face, particularly focusing on the muscles in your jaw, which is where many of us carry a lot of tension, particularly when we sleep. And allow that warmth again to flow through those areas. Now I want you to take a few deep breaths, and with each breath you feel more and more deeply relaxed and calm. Now it's time to talk about overthinking, which is the result of circular thinking. We get caught in a thought that, over time, loses its starting point, its beginning, and has no end, like a hamster on a running wheel, going round and round and round and round, stirring up more and more emotion. And as you spin, the longer you spin on this wheel of thoughts, the point of thinking is lost. Thinking is designed to be a linear process. The line is not always straight. going in one direction, but it ideally has a beginning and a definite end. It serves a function to get us from A to B. Now, sometimes this takes longer than at other times, particularly if the subject matter is complex, complicated, if more time is needed to negotiate the hurdles. But the process is just that, a series of steps made towards a particular end. So, thinking, even when it is intense and goes on for a while, is not to be confused with overthinking. Our aim here is not to stop all thinking, because thinking as a process is helpful, necessary, in order for us to live, to manage, to cope with what life throws at us. So our aim is not to be thoughtless, to sweep things under the proverbial carpet, but to ensure that the thinking process moves us forward, that we do not get caught in a cycle of overthinking, caught on a hamster's wheel that is taking us nowhere other than deeper and deeper into a state of discomfort and distress. Now this distinction is clear. Let us consider how we ensure that we maintain a forward motion in our thoughts, that we allow them to process themselves, to lead us towards helpful conclusions, decisions, actions, and ultimately peaceful end points. First, you must notice when you have been caught. The strongest signs are strong negative emotions. Anxiety, depression or sadness, anger. Use these emotions as signals that you may have been caught up in overthinking. Next, take hold of the thought in your mind. Find its beginning and grasp hold of it in one hand. Then, in your mind, run your hand along its length until you reach its end. Then grasp its end with your other hand and hold it firmly out in front of you. Notice as you do this that it will twist and turn, trying to free itself and return to its circular motion. But you will not let it, because you are in control of your thoughts, in control of what occurs in your mind and the way that it occurs. Hold the thought in this way, moving your focus from its starting point to its end point. Gradually, the thought will stop resisting your grasp, and you will be able to lay it down where it will rest, still and quiet, with a clear beginning and a clear end. Now, each time your mind turns once again to overthinking, and it will, because whenever we experience a strong negative emotion for an extended period of time, we become vulnerable to this type of cognitive process. You will complete this exercise, and each time you do, your skill in transforming overthinking back to linear, functional, helpful thinking will strengthen, and the process will become easier and easier and easier, and your mind will become stiller, quieter, more peaceful and more relaxed. Now, it is time to let go of today, of this hypnosis, of this moment, and allow your mind to drift slowly towards a deep and peaceful sleep, from which you will awake fully rested and ready to face your day. With each breath you feel yourself moving further and further away from your waking world, moving closer and closer to restful sleep. Everything is as it should be. You are just as you should be. There is nothing more for you to do now but sleep, sleep, sleep. Everything is okay. You can sleep. You are okay. You can let go. There is nothing more for you to do but sleep, sleep, sleep. It is time to allow your body and your mind to rest, regenerate. So sleep, 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 nothing more to do here. Your day is done.